So some months ago I made an experiment. I decided to follow my intuition 100%. That was something I was already doing more and more, yet this time I decided, okay, I'm not gonna follow my mind and all its wants and negative thoughts. I'm just gonna follow my intuition, no matter how weird or contradictory to what I want it seems. And that coincided also with life forcing me to surrender everything. And that happened not through my will, I would say. My will was to try to figure it out and fix and heal things, and still want things to be different. And yet this whole chase of wanting things to be different, and this is a part of like manifestation. You try to accomplish something in the material plane to match it so it matches what you want. This whole thing started to exhaust me and bring me even more suffering than the actuality of what is the life circumstances. And when I just dropped everything, all desires, I said, life, do what you want with me. Do what you want. I know, I feel you know better. That was a big point. I said that will be done, and not just before I thought I this is what I want, but still mind wanted something different always, and tried to find another technique or manifesting solution, or like anything in realm of the mind in order to reprogram my subconsciousness, listen to channeled messages of how I should think better, so my reality then matches what I want. But the more I would try even to do it, the more exhausted, tired I would feel, and this body was already going through difficulties. So it just, life disarmored me, and I noticed that the DaO, what I call the DaO, is like a natural law of things, what's true, what is the reality, the DaO, the balance, the harmony, the truth of reality, what is the life force, the wisdom of life. That's all one thing in different words. And the DaO knew better where to guide me, what to do, and bring it. I started to notice that there was any time, not any point in my life where I did not have everything that I wanted or needed. I always had everything I needed for exactly the moment where I was in. Everything was always provided. And I started to notice it more and more in my current reality. This was back a few months. That, wow, really life takes care of things. And I just started to trust it. Trust myself, my deeper self, intuition, you can call it intuition, or but inner knowing and being, the presence. And it through experimenting with, when I had intuition to speak things, but my mind would say, oh no, this may hurt that person, don't do it, or this may lead to this unwanted circumstances, or people will think I'm weird, or whatever my mind would say. I would still follow intuition and do it. and I would listen less to my mind, and I would just undoubtedly do what my intuition say, and it would always lead to epic results. Epic, because my mind would never have done it by itself. It's all, I just unblocked the life force that always tried to take care of me. And I thought, I need to manage the universe, I need to manage my life, I need to control it, I need to reprogram my mind so life finally can be easy. But always life, like a loving mother, would guide me, and I would just, my mind would like, no, I don't want to go this way. And as soon as I would relax and say, okay, that will be done, this is where life force is going, I accept it fully, I trust it fully, and I also want it. I want what life wants for me. I don't want anything different than what actually is happening. I don't want anything different than what's happening. That's a perfect mantra. I want what's happening. I want what I have, and I don't want what I don't have. That's a recipe in itself for happiness. And so, as soon as I really in my being, just like, yeah, this is it. I'm not gonna try to find solutions anymore or force my way. It was such a big relief. It felt so blissful and peaceful, and all the fears that my mind had before, that, oh no, don't do this thing that intuition tells you, they will think you're weird, or you will lose that person, or blah blah blah, you will miss the opportunity. It always happened, everything so much better than my mind could imagine. And not in terms like, oh, I won $1 million, much better. Not in that, but it was natural. It was actually what all the parties wanted. But they were unaware, or were also afraid to speak up. But whenever I would speak the truth 100% and follow this truth, it would always set things right. And I saw that there is less and less suffering in my life. There are challenges, physical, but there is no suffering, emotional or mental. I stopped reacting to things. All the triggers subsided, because I said, I want what life wants. I want the DaO, the natural law, the natural flow. And I started to see myself as the life, as the DaO, as the life force, as the wholeness. So it's so unexpected. And I didn't know it will lead to this, to realization of wholeness, a oneness of all things. But it's sort of, I as consciousness had to lead my mind and into its source. So it may seem like an effort to walk your mind towards its source until it dissolves, but it was a conscious decision. Like, yeah, I see that life was presenting me with more and more evidences, situations, that if I let go, things would flow, even though it would mean facing my fears. That's why we don't trust ourselves. We are afraid to trust ourselves, that if we do this thing that inside of you, your heart is telling you to do, that somehow it may cause consequences that you are trying to avoid. But life would prove me undoubtedly that I would be amazed and I would stop having any doubts that I know better. Life would prove me that anytime I speak truth, I follow my heart, listen to intuition, and it's the dropping of the ego itself. It's the dropping of the pride of the mind that thinks it knows, when there is just inside of you, is this right direction or is this right direction, and you feel inside, oh no, it's left. You just feel it. And if you really don't know, then this is the answer also. Then you don't know, then it doesn't matter. Then you'll just take any choice and it will be the right one anyway. So everyone has this navigation system, and this all is consciousness. And we all share one consciousness, and we all share one universal mind. And that's why we are like, there are these synchronicities or intuition. What I intuit, the other person, they may not be aware of it, but if they tune in, they will confirm, yeah, this is you're right. And I would be presented with connections and situations where that would just be so obvious. It was so obvious. So I would say life is the best teacher and guru. In my case, for sure. I've been on a path, and as I said, I've been a lone wolf, but I had teachers, and yet I would always feel my guru teachers inside of me, and then gradually I would just accept that life is teacher. Life is teaching me, it's guiding me, and if I don't resist it, I would learn lessons from all different perspectives, and it's a very good vehicle to this body mind to get insights and learn about consciousness, about yourself. Real wisdom comes not from knowledge of the object. That's what we normally do. We study the relative world, and we study that what we are aware of, that what we can perceive, the objects, the matter. And the real wisdom comes when you start digging into the subject and be curious in the one who is experiencing those objects, in the one who is perceiving in you as a point of consciousness. So when you turn your interest, curiosity towards yourself, know thyself, right? Then you really find, and it's not like you find as an object, but mind becomes humbled by this enormous vastness, presence of the source, and the source, which you really are, starts to inform the mind and guide the little eye towards itself, towards its source, until this eye dissolves. But first it may take a little, take by hand and walk out of the forest through the path, until there is no path, until you are home. But you've always been home. So go inside, and I wanted to speak about this manifesting. What are we manifesting? If you really, and follow if you want, just do it. One moment you will hit the wall and you manifested everything you wanted, but you're still not happy. That's the same. If you're happy, you can, I don't know if you will want to keep manifesting, at least. But if you're not happy, that won't solve your problems. and won't give you happiness. You can try it. But just know what you're dealing with. Manifesting is it's in the realm of the dream, of the dreamer and the dream. It is mind exerting itself, making efforts in order to create some image in the experience. And all of that is happening within the consciousness that you are. And if you just look within, who are you? The consciousness that is wholeness, that is oneness, that projected everything. The wholeness, the source, projected the mind. And the mind thinks it's all there is. Mind thinks that he is the source. So this mind then, not being aware of deeper source of itself, starts to chase things in order to bring itself into some sort of harmony, happiness and peace. The underlying desire is always for the source, for the truth, because that is what created the mind, and that is what is the source of happiness. So underlying desire is always for the self, for yourself. And the more you become aware of it, the less you want to manifest. The more you start. So when the goal is clear, when the goal is established, then reaching the goal becomes quite easy. Or at least you know what is it you want. So the destination is set, right? Then you can have a GPS and navigation. But if the goal is blurry, and then you will not reach the real goal. So in this case, if we know that our goal is self-realization, reaching to the source of who we are, knowing the self, knowing ourselves, knowing who you really are. If you know that your goal is happiness, just simply happiness, without extra, then it's easy for you to reach it in a way. But if your goals are chaotic and I want a house, and I want a job, and I want a partner, and also I want people to love me, and I want to not have these thoughts, obsessive thoughts, and I also want to have peace, and also I don't want that thing. And if you ask yourself why, well, why do you want this perfect body? Why do you want a new partner? Why do you want these things? Why? No, but this will make me feel good. Why do you want to feel good? Everyone wants to feel good. It's a self-love. But what do you really want? You want just to be like, okay, you know, I'm content. I'm peaceful. I am happy. I'm happy unconditionally. That's what you really want. And that the house, the partner, the job, the fame, the body, it's not, they won't bring you this. They won't. So it's all in the realm of the dream. Go beyond the dream to the source, to the consciousness, become aware that you are aware, and see that the mind is a byproduct of consciousness. Mind is the cause of the body and the world. Okay? Go all the way back to your source and you will find all you were searching for. And from there, well, then we can talk about manifesting. I don't know if you will want to. From there, it's all oneness, all flow. You know, in here, it feels like just a wave of energy and inspiration, but there is no one doing it, and there is no need for a result, a fruit, or goal. Like there is no expectation. It's just like a oneness flowing. All is accepted. Nothing is needed. Perfection. And wherever I go, I am. Whatever you do, I am. It's all the I amness within everything. So yeah. Yeah, just I think my realization was that okay, I felt like there is a sense of lack, and I tried to fix the sense of lack by bringing the objects or fixing the circumstances. Then that is like you can't control fully, right? Then I went, instead of fixing the external, I tried to fix my inner sense of lack. By reprogramming beliefs, subconscious mind, and trying to work with psyche. It helped, but a little bit. Not fully. It felt like I don't reach the core when I'm just dealing with the mind and psyche. And when it was all scooped out, when a bubble popped, shift happened, all went beyond. Like there is no sense of lack. When I went to its source of everything, I quote unquote, no lack, nothing needed. And wow, suddenly there is no practices needed. Suddenly there is no sick mind, there is no worries, there is no stress, there is no anxiety. This body was suffering from anxieties. It's all gone. It's an illusion. All I wanted to share. Mind. That within the realm of Carl Jung, working with your shadow or subconscious mind, all kinds of sorts of healing of your psyche, different channelers, that everything is like tries to reprogram your subconscious mind in a way, or conscious even, or remove limiting beliefs. All that realm is directed towards improving the mind, making mind more happy, making mind more positive, or making mind tell better story. So I will give an example. Reality is what it is, right? The actual experience is what it is in front of you in every moment, just in the now. If we don't have any future nor past, just now, and you are where you are. It is what it is, right? Then we call there is a mind, the thinking mind, that call things certain names, with the experiences, the form, even the thoughts. There comes words which that is the tree, and this is a female body, and there is a screen in front of it. So there's a layer in between what is actually, and then you as an observer, and that layer in between is the mind, the thinking mind, and labeling, calling things a certain way. And this the modalities of coaching, reframing your mind, manifesting, hypnosis, whatever, they are directed towards this layer of in between, which is the mind that comments on things. You did something, you may performed an action, natural thing, right? You were moved to go to this cafe and eat this lunch, a salad, and that's it. That's what happened. Then comes the mind and says, oh, I should have chosen another dish, or oh, this was expensive, or oh, it wasn't so salty, and the cashier wasn't so friendly, and it starts to describe your experience, it starts to judge, it starts to label. So this layer of in between, what is, you eat a salad, action happen, reality is what it is, right? People are as they are. Then there is this layer, and those reframing modalities, I would call them, are directed towards this layer, which is, they teach you your mind to tell a better story. So there is what is, the reality, the tree, the landscape, the female body. And then there is layer, I see a female body and I have this reaction to it. That's the mind. That's the story. The story includes the character. The character is I, the separate I. Everything revolves around the I. If you remove the I, reality is as it is. Then you are liberated. That's this self-realization. You just remove the I. You don't need to deal with the story. You don't need to rewrite the story. You don't need to write 10 pages, I am abundant, I am successful, affirmation. That's you are training your mind. Now, there's nothing wrong with it, and it works, but it does not work always and fully and permanently. Because there isn't, now you became abundant, the next moment you need to become health. It's always, you need to, it's so much effort. So it works, but it's not complete. Because, as I say, the story is fluid, and you can rewrite the story. You can tell this tree, call this tree, oh, this is a beautiful tree. Then you can choose to call it, oh, this is an ugly tree. This is the story. And who calls it? Who tells it? The mind. The mind that is the character. The mind that is then an I. So the story is rooted in the I. I'm not talking about I am being. I'm talking about the I. Self-centered talk. I think this tree is bad. Or labeling, telling a story. So this all is false, illusion, not true. It's not. It does not have a reality. Even like the concepts now I'm sharing, it's not complete truth. It's not truth. The truth is in the beyond, in the witness, in the experiencer that's hearing your words. Now you take my words and you digest it into experience, in your own seeing, and it creates shifts in your perception. But if you take my words and put it into a concept, then you create a religion and rule books and another story that is ultimately false. So all the words are pointed in order to remove the concepts. The concepts are to remove the concepts. So if you go on the route of reprogramming your mind to be more happy mind, it is a never-ending job. It will give you a certain level of quality of life and certain level of peace and joy. Yeah, there will be still areas where you're like, here I lose it, can't do anything. Or you feel like, yeah, I'm accepting, I've let go, but then after many years you think you're realizing everything, like your partner dies and suddenly you're not okay. What means is that, well, it wasn't complete full yet. I mean, I don't mean grief appears, I just mean that suddenly I comes back. So, okay, this video is very fluid and organic and contains a lot of different things, and it still goes on, so thank you if you're still around, but that's, yeah, for no one. I am, it's just flowing. Yes, so self-realization is the removal and dissolution of the I, me, my, the self-centered, self-centered self. The point in mind that is accumulation of stories, memories, hopes, dreams, but apparently is not real. It associates itself with the manifest world, but then adds a layer of a story and calls it an I. So that I is false. If you just remove the I, the mind itself is not a problem. The thinking is not a problem. The reality, what is as it is not a problem. The problem, or what causes suffering, is this self-centered I, the me. I, me, my. And it's sort of a base and charge, the root, let's say, the root of all the little other branches of your mind, like beliefs, like stories that you tell about things and things, yeah, all these issues, inner, like mental you experience, traumas of the past, you know, what happened when you were 3 years old. It's all held together by this I. If you just remove the I, go beyond it, and you see, contemplate it, look what it is, what's its substance, what's the source of it, what it consists of, you'll see there is nothing. There is nothing. There is no I. If you go into the witness consciousness, you are it already, into your beingness presence. And from in there, you witness this I as an object, as something different from you. What you call yourself I in your daily life. You know, I'm Frederick and I'm 53 and I have 3 children and I am been a musician. And I don't believe in God, and I think women are this and that. So, perfect, that's a character. That character is perceived in the witness consciousness and all its stories. So first, take yourself away from the experiences. Okay. Then take yourself away from the stories. Okay. Then see what's left. Now, if there is no past, no future in the now, see what's left of this I character. Can you really find it? Like a solid thing? Or does it require the mind constantly recreating it in order to keep it going and alive, sort of? So if it requires a constant recreation, hologram projection, on and on and on all the time for it to exist. If you stop projecting, it's not there. If you don't believe in it, it's not there. It's the same, oh, there are some energy cores I need to cut with that person and negative entity. It's mind energy. It's just mind cords. Remove the I, this I, and it discharges all the cords, quote unquote. With your mother, with your father, all the conflicts, it's gone. Because if there is no I, all there is left is wholeness, is witness consciousness. Pure I am before the body mind. The light of consciousness. And that is everything. So how can you have a conflict then? How can you... And if you remove the past, where is that 3 years old trauma? If you're just being purely in the now, as presence. And where is the future and how to... Let's worry about the future if there is no future. If there is only now, you, a point of consciousness, projecting this world, now, always now. So what to worry about? You are in here and things happen, things are presented. And these things are you as well. And when there is no separation, there is inner knowing, what to do, consciousness, the presence, the life force moves through this body mind, takes care of things, responds to things. But without the I, without the projected false self, without the story, you see, it's not like the physical separation dissolves. It is the removal of this layer in between, the layer of the I, separate identity, the layer of the story that reveals wholeness of all things. Yes, okay, we'll stop in here and have a beautiful day. Take care. I love you so much. Thank you so much for your love notes. I love you. You're the best. Relatively speaking. You know, this body mind is very... It likes to joke and likes to be childlike a little bit. So, okay, love you, love you, love you, love you, love you, love you.